Okay, here we are, MetalTalk, and tonight we're at the Shepherd Bush Empire. We're right at the top rooms. We're in a little sweatbox at the moment, and I'm seeing a band who's going to live up to that name, Tax the Heat, a great new band from Bristol. And I'm with the guys right now, and please introduce yourselves.
Hey, I'm Jack, I play drums. Tax the Heat.
I'm Antonio, I play bass.
I'm Alex, I play guitar and sing.
And I'm JP, and I play guitar.
And you're quite a relatively new band, but
yeah.
At the moment I see your name written everywhere. You know, the plaudits and the critics seem to be loving you. You know, so what's your secret?
We kind of made a conscious effort just to be this year, because we had a really great year last year. We built it up really nicely, did some touring and stuff, but we made a real conscious effort that this year was going to be a really busy year for us. And there was sort of lots of interest from the start, really. So as soon as we started playing these shows, like in spring, we just kept getting more offers and going with it. And just the whole thing about this band is being a live band, and that's the way you win people over, like in the old days. You know? So that's what we're about, and we've just been enjoying getting out and about, really.
And actually, we're talking more about those live shows in just a minute. But let's start with the name, Tax the Heat. Where did that come from?
It originally came from a Beatles lyric from the song Taxman. Me and Alex, when we were first kind of starting the band, started firing ideas for names back and forth via email, and it's just one of those things you've just got to pick something and stick on it at the end of the day, and that was the one that really stuck out to us when we were going through stuff, and so yeah, we stuck with that one.
So what names didn't stick?
It was a while ago now.
Yeah. That was before I was.
Yeah, that was because it started out, when we first started demoing stuff, it was just Jack and I. Because we'd come out of playing in bands and we were just looking at doing something new. It really, at the start, it wasn't a band as such, but we just needed a name to start with if we were going to be playing it to people, because everybody's like, oh, what are you calling it? So there was a load of names in the list.
There was a bunch of stuff. I remember just when I was writing an email or something, I was listening to the Beatles, and that one just clicked, sort of stuck out as the lyric was sung. I think I remember listening to a Traffic album as well, and there was a bunch of Traffic references, but they weren't all song references. But
yeah, it's quite hard to come up with a band name, but really kind of.
Well, it's a name that sticks. You can't forget the name Tax the Heat. You know, there's a lot of bands out there.
I mean, the other great thing with it was, this wasn't why we came up with the name, but the other great thing was that, you know, a lot of the names you inevitably come up with, you type it into Google and there's already 100 bands with that name.
You find there's a band in the Philippines somewhere.
Exactly, yeah. So, and that was one when it was one of the ones that we were thinking about. You put it into Google and there's not a lot there apart from Taxman lyrics. And so we set up our website and that. And now when you type in Tax the Heat to Google, our website's the first thing that comes up. So
and next is the Beatles. So
exactly, yeah, can be done.
And let's talk about your dress sense, you know, because like you're a rock and roll band, and most rock and roll bands, you know, like some of the spandex or the greasy look, or you know, the grunge look. But you know, you're quite well smart dressed gentleman.
Thank you. It was, I guess it was a kind of conscious thing that we took on board. We were right from the start when me and Alex were starting it, and then once we got JP and Antonio on board with the band, we've just thought about every aspect of what we do, and we want everything to convey a message, I guess, and that's what we're trying to do as a band. And so it's really influenced by a lot of the 60s stuff that we're into. I know that our sound is a little heavier than a lot of that 60s stuff, but it really is rooted in a lot of stuff like the old Stone stuff and the Yardbirds and the Kinks. And that's where the suit thing comes from, I guess, and it's just an extension of how we dress.
Because you do sort of describe yourself as like a rhythm and blues band. You know, you've got a very modern edge and a bit of grunge in there, and we get to that in a second as well. But obviously you're young guys, so what is it that you love about the 60s so much, and how did you sort of get into the 60s rather than the 70s and the modern music?
The big thing for me was the energy of the sound of it, and there's just a whole energy about it as well. that's maybe missing a little bit at the moment. Like bands would track live and you would be hearing that in the record. It sounds like a band playing really hard, really loud in a room. And then if you look at any footage as well, like they're really giving it some as well. So it was that really. It was about it's the energy of it and the essence of that pure kind of rock and roll thing, and like bands being able to play really well and have great songs. And yeah, that was kind of that's the big appeal with those kind of bands really. That was like kind of where we came from to start with, and it's kind of developed a bit as time's gone by and keeps developing as well.
And obviously, your EP was produced by Chris Goss, obviously well known for Masters of Reality and a whole lot more.
Sure.
So did he sort of give you that sort of grungy sound, or was that something you already had?
What do you think? I think that was something that was already in there. I mean, although we describe ourselves and have been described as an R&B band, and really it's an all-around rock band. There are lots of different influences.
It's a great mix at the end of the day. It's a fantastic mix, and there's no one else doing that.
There's a lot of stuff that goes into it, and there's certain genres and certain points that we all kind of lock into, kind of music taste-wise, I guess, and they come through in the music. And grunge and desert rock is definitely one of those things. So I think that the essence of that is probably there anyway.
Chris is all about like live and real as well. That's kind of his thing. He produces so much stuff. Like people know him for the kind of real grungy stuff as well. But really, he produces so much, and he's just great at getting the best out of you as well, and the band. And he was just really he was on board straight away and really got it. So.
And another one of those things was, it again, like it always does, it always comes back to that energy thing. It's all about getting the vibe right, I guess. And Chris is a great guy for that, and he knows what he wants and he knows what he's talking about when it comes to that. And I think it added an extra dimension, but it meant that he really got it, and we really got on with him, so it was great.
Well, so at the moment you've got a 4-track EP at the moment. Will Chris be doing the album, JP?
Well, I suppose you'll have to go management now. There's talks of that happening. That's going out to the desert.
We want that to happen.
We want that to happen. That's what
we want that to happen, and so do the management as well. But the thing is, it's at a stage where sort of labels are sniffing around, and that's a factor as well. But we want to do it with Chris.
Yeah.
He's like a bit of a guide for us and really gets the band. So that would be a dream, yeah, if we could do it.
I had so much fun doing it last time.
And where did you record that?
In Bath.
Oh, in Bath?
Yeah, Chris flew in from, he was out on a Masters of Reality tour, and he flew in at the end of his tour from Switzerland, I think, and joined up with us in Bath, and it was this really nice kind of picturesque studio there in Bath called Riverside, and it was great. It worked out perfectly.
Because there's some footage of you on YouTube, sort of live footage of you in Rockfield Studios, which is obviously famous for Black Sabbath, Rush, and even Budgie, you know.
Yeah, amazing place, absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that was a while ago now, but we did the live shoot there, and that was really when we were just getting the band going, and it was one of the, again coming back to the energy thing, it was one of those things that we knew that we wanted to be a live band. That's all the songs are made to be played live. So I think we collectively kind of decided that the thing to do, you've got to get stuff out there for people to see, and it would be to show them something live. So we went in to a studio so that it had studio quality, but we just tracked live, and there was a live video of us, so it just felt like the right thing to do.
Yeah, I've actually made like a promo video for Fed to the Lions, and it's quite an interesting video, and it's like live footage of you, and there's some guy being chased through the streets, and where was all that filmed?
That was
around our local kind of towns, really.
Yeah, Bristol. We shot the band stuff in a place called the Milk Thistle, which is a really cool kind of bar. But it's really odd. You wouldn't know it was there unless somebody told you it was there. It's just like a doorway, and you knock on it, and then a guy in a suit opens up. It's like a real members type thing. But yeah, so we used that there, and then we shot in various like surroundings nearby, really, for that. But yeah, it was great fun to do. really cool.
So it's quite handy for like for tea break, sometimes it's a beer break instead.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
There was a whole line of all sorts of different spirits waiting for us when we finished doing video.
Fantastic. And first time I saw the band live was just briefly caught the end of your set at Hard Rock Hell, and I think you played the opening night.
Yeah,
Hard Rock Hell, when you played at the Blue Stage actually.
Yeah.
But since then you moved on, you just played a Aerosmith 2 weeks back.
We did, yeah, Clap and Come, yeah.
That was obviously fantastic. You played Download and those sort of.
Yeah.
So what is these big events? What do you learn from playing those kind of shows?
What did we learn?
Or what do you don't learn? Or you learn this is not as good as you expected it to be?
I learned that I want to do it every day.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing.
I don't know. It was just, again, it's just like felt like another step on the ladder really for us. It wasn't like, what should we do about how can we make it any different? So
yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just another gig, but it's just about having fun, and like the Download crowd was amazing.
Yeah,
we just didn't know what to expect because we were on first, but and people were still coming in while we were playing. But by the end of our set, it was kind of packed there, and everyone was getting into it, and it just blew our minds, and we had a great time. So.
Well, I'd say tonight you're supporting Kansas, and I'm sure many young rock fans who think who, obviously famous for the massive hit Carry On Wayward Son, massive American pop rock band.
Yeah.
And it's like you have no fear of you'll play with anybody. Is that true?
Within reason, yeah. This one got off.
So I think also tonight there'll be many Kansas fans who think Tax the Who.
It's this. I think we'll see how this one goes.
I think we'll probably keep it rock, but
there's so many. The thing is, I think the rock audience generally are quite they can be quite open-minded to stuff. Sometimes not so much, but I think that's the vibe with this tonight. Like, a lot of people here like to hear good musicianship and big songs, and that's an element of what Tax the Heat does well. So I think we're open to shows, and like obviously Kansas have got such a big history, and it's like this is their only UK day, so it just seemed like a really interesting thing to do.
And it's Shepherd's Bush Park, exactly.
And obviously you've got more gigs around the corner, Stillhouse the weekend, and by the time this interview goes up, you'll be out on the road with Black Star Riders.
Yes, first day.
So obviously, that's something you're looking forward to. You're obviously
it's going to be
Just
essentially great. Yeah, we're just really happy to be out on the road again, and looking forward to hearing that.
Black Star Riders were one of the first bands that really championed Tax the Heat as well. People like Ricky Warwick and Scott Gorham, they heard the early demos and they were so supportive, because most people like that, you'd be lucky if they would give it even 30 seconds of their time, but they weren't just listening to it, they were really into it. So to be finally doing some shows with them is just crazy. It's great. It's really cool.
And later on in the year, you're doing sort of some dates with the Virgin Marys. Another sort of relatively new band, been going like 2-3 years now. Great band.
Really good.
They're still quite got to the level I think they deserve to be at, but but they are fantastic. And what advice can you give to new bands out there?
How
do they get onto that first?
It's tough because again we've all come from bands before and been doing the slog, for the sort of toilet tours, and you learn from it completely. I think the main thing I see at the moment is I think people need to get out there and gig. I think a lot of like kids at the moment aren't doing that so much, just in like local areas and stuff. I don't know if that's the case all over the place. I don't know, but keep gigging and just like write music for yourself that really means something. Don't expect things to happen because they should. You feel they should happen. Just make great music and believe in that and keep pushing it.
Great, Tax the Heat, it's been fantastic talking to you. The EP's out now. Alex, Jack, Antonioni, was that right? JP, Tax the Heat. Go and check this band out.
Thanks, man.
Thanks very much. All the best for the future. Thank you.